to West Hills Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. And good morning. I am the Reverend Tracy Springberry, and I am really fortunate to serve this active and loving congregation. And we welcome everyone here. We welcome you no matter who you are, who you love, how you express your gender, your immigration status. We welcome you if you're feeling really heart and soul sick today, or whether you just turned the news off on Tuesday and are doing pretty well. We welcome you if you are young, if you are old, if this is your very first time here, and if you've been coming for 20 years. Every person is welcome. And we especially want to welcome newcomers, people who are online this morning. And after service, there's coffee for you. There was a link in the order of service that came to you this morning. And there's coffee for all of us downstairs. There's usually treats as well. And I especially want to welcome newcomers. If you didn't check in at the desk, there's little pieces of paper in front of the chair right there that you can just fill out your information, and then we can send you information about what's happening in this congregation. Many things happen during the week, and that's true for you who've been coming for a while. You can look at your e-blast and other places to find out the things that we're doing here. And so now I would love to have you greet each other. The question for today is, what is something that has given you joy in the last week? So Ashley, what has given you joy? I'm gonna. Paisley up to light our chalice this morning. Our chalice lighting is by Paul Spector. We light this chalice in the memory of the courage of those who have struggled for freedom, the persistence of those who struggled for justice, and the love of those who've built beloved communities to carry on the light of hope. Let us say our affirmation together. Let us open our eyes to see what is beautiful and what is wondrous. Let us open our minds to learn what is true and what is mysterious. Let us open our hearts to love ourselves and our neighbors.
Good morning. I'm Ashley Ulmer. I'm delighted to be your lay leader today. Our opening reading by Michelle Collins. Welcome to this place, a place where hope can be nourished. In a world that profits from despair, our gathering is a declaration of faith. We declare that joy still rises, that kindness still matters, and that hope is not dead. We come to remember that we are not alone. May our time together restore us to wonder, strengthen our resolve, and return us to the world as bearers of hope that sustains the work of resistance. Join me in spirit of life. Thank you, Virginia and Ryan. Sharing gratitude and giving together is just one of the ways that WOOF makes being a source of joy, kindness, resolve, hope, and resistance collectively sustainable. As you receive the offering this morning, include not only your financial gifts, but also what time and talents you are able to share. If you have filled out a card or noticed there's a little card in the seat back in front of you, if you have any interests, if you know of any of the committees, if you know of any of the groups that meet that you're interested in, you can just make a little note with your contact information and we'd be glad to bring you into the group's meeting. And now our hosts and ushers will come. Let us share in our affirmation of gratitude and giving. Let us be grateful when we are able to give, for many do not have that privilege. Let us be grateful for all those who share their gifts with us, for we are enriched by their giving. And let us be grateful even for our needs, so we may learn the generosity of others. One of the things we are very grateful for here at WOOF is the artistic nature of our community. We have to feature two artists. Up here we have one of our congregants, Matt Foster, providing this collection called Belonging. And there will be a reception on January 17th. More information on that available from the Arts and Aesthetics Committee. The second is by Jeff Howard, and that's available to see downstairs, Prayers of the Earth, Photos and Poetry. So that event is on February 15th. And Izzy's going to share our time for all ages this morning.
Good morning, everybody. If you're little and you want to come up to the front to get a better look at the story, you are welcome to. Today, I'll be reading a story revisiting our friends Elephant and Piggy. The story's called Can I Play Too? By Mo Willems. Oh, okay. I didn't know what that word was. We're ready. I'm ready. Piggy, let's play catch. Yes. I love playing catch with my friends. I will throw. I will catch. Excuse me. Can I play too? You do not want to play with me? Oh, no, we do want to play with you, but we're playing catch with our arms. So, you do not have arms. I do not have arms. Ah! I know I do not have arms. I am a snake. You are a funny snake. But can a snake play catch? I do not know, but I can try. Cool. I will throw the ball. Try and catch it. Here comes the ball. Bonk. Sorry. It is okay. Let's try it again. Okay, I will try again. Bonk. Now I will try. Bonk. This is not working. We need a new idea. Yes. Maybe we need more balls. More balls. More balls. Oh boy. Bonk, 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 bonk. Do we need even more balls? Maybe. Wait! We have tried. But I am a snake. A snake who cannot play catch. No. You are our friend. We will all play catch. How? She has an idea. Whee! I love playing catch with my friends. In RE, we want everyone to feel included, and sometimes that means adjusting to everybody's different needs. Today, we're going to be thinking about how to include our wider community out beyond the walls of WOOF and how we can include those people in our days. The kids are going to be working on our sock drive donation box, so keep that on your radar. The sock drive is coming up soon, and we work really hard to get socks, underwear, other essentials for houseless people, including houseless youth in our area. So now, if you are able to stand and form archways across the aisleways, we'll sing the kids to their classes.
So life is full of so much joy. The beauty of the earth, the fact that we get to eat and breathe and be gathered together and sing together. And new babies, I have to say that my other son is going to have a baby this week sometime. So I'll let you know next week what the details are on that one. So there is so much joy in the world. And we also know there's exceptional suffering. There is suffering on our streets. There is suffering in Minneapolis. There is suffering all over our country. There is suffering across the world as people do atrocious things to one another. And we hold all of that joy and that suffering in this circle of care. Joy is more joyful when it is shared, and suffering is easier to hold when we have others to hold it with. So this morning, you have the opportunity to drop a stone in the water for your joy or sorrow. And if you want to share just briefly with our community what you are holding on your heart today, that is welcome as well. After the music plays, or as the music plays, you may come forward. We have people come up this aisle and return down this aisle.
News with great joy, our Afghani residents, Nasser and Hadisa, were married on Tuesday in our living room. Presiding was Sarah Schur, a minister here for a while.
This is a giant stone to honor the life of Renee Nicole Good, her precious children, her dear wife, her grieving mother, and all of her family.
Two. Roya is a year old in a few days. And the second one is for Iran and all of her family there. In Tehran and Mashhad, Tabriz, the people of Esfahan, Shiraz, who are suffering now.
I'm grateful that love is stronger than hate.
Peace and rest in the next season of Mr. Weir's life.
My brother has a tumor, and so we're hoping the doctor can fix him up.
I am so grateful for this loving and supportive community.
What Salima said.
Healing prayers for my dear friend Anne.
We attended a sold-out choir last night for LGBTQ kids in Portland at Multnomah Arts Center. It was magnificent, and I'm so thankful and hopeful.
And a final stone for all the joys and sorrows that remain in our hearts. We will now take time for meditation, reflection, and prayer. We begin with these words by Lynn Unger. Breathe, said the wind. How can I breathe at a time like this, when the air is full of smoke, of burning trees, of burning lives? Just breathe, the wind insisted. Easy for you to say if the weight of injustice is not wrapped around your throat, cutting off all air. I need you to breathe. I need you to breathe. Don't tell me to be calm. There are so many reasons to be angry, so much cause for despair. I didn't say be calm, said the wind. I said to breathe. We're going to need a lot of air to make this hurricane together. Let us take a moment to breathe.
To love, for it's not broken. Hold fast to love, it will endure. Hold fast to love, hold your heart open for all this hurt. Love is the cure. Hold
get to appreciate the reflections today of Chris Hedges, an American journalist known for covering war as a war correspondent, also an author and a Presbyterian minister himself. And he reflects on a particularly impactful moment while in Prague. He says, "I stood with hundreds of thousands of rebellious Czechoslovakians in 1989 on a cold winter night in Prague's Venceslas Square as the singer Marta Kubisova approached the balcony of the Melantrich Hotel. Kubisova had been banished from the airwaves in 1968 after the Soviet invasion for her anthem of defiance, Prayer for Marta. Literally her entire catalog, including more than 200 singles, had been confiscated and destroyed by the state. She had disappeared from public view. Her voice that night, after 21 years, suddenly flooded the square. Pressing around me, he says, were the throngs of students, most of whom had not even been born by the time that she had vanished. They began to sing the words of the anthem, though. There were tears running down their faces. It was then that I understood the power of rebellion. It was then that I knew that no act of rebellion, however futile it appears in the moment, is wasted. I'd like to start. Let's say her name, Renee Good. Renee Good. Let's say it again, Renee Good. Becca Good, the wife of Renee Nicole Macklin Good, shared broadly this week. Renee lived by an overarching belief: there is kindness in the world, and we need to do everything we can to find it where it resides and nurture it where it needs to grow, Renee was a Christian who knew that all religions teach the same essential truth. We are here to love each other, care for each other, and keep each other safe and whole. Becca affirmed about her sweet wife, Renee, she is pure love. She is pure joy. She is pure sunshine. And she wants her wife's legacy to be one of kindness and love. And so together we affirm, so be it. Musical gift from the pop-up choir coming now.
When we get no lyrics projected, we're going to do different than what ever you
One way authoritarianism builds power is by making us afraid to use ours. They do this through violence and threat of violence. And this has been happening in our country well before this week. The government beats and kidnaps immigrants and Latina U.S. citizens every day, killing 32 in the last year. They threaten and demean trans people, shutting down life-saving care and legal protections. They tear gas, shoot rubber bullets, and jail peaceful protesters. Now they are increasing the violence. It's true. Those against fascism have been building power, slowing raids, finding strength in relationships, and protecting the targeted. This start has been imperfect, often slow and awkward, but it has been growing, and it gave me hope. And my hope vanished in a breath when a nonviolent witness to an ICE raid was killed, when they shot 2 more in Portland, all just a week after the US attacked another country unprovoked. I felt limp and drained. We can't fight this, I thought. As Becca Good said, we had whistles. They had guns. I felt cold and heavy until I managed to breathe. And as I breathed, I remember that people do this. People have done this. We are doing this. People have resisted and taken down significantly more entrenched authoritarian governments than this one, who for all its guns and power has not yet stopped all speech, religious expression, or gatherings, and who often flails erratically. People have done this before. Fascists want us to be afraid. They want us to lose hope. They want us to give up resisting. And so I picked up my computer, and I do what I do. I started to read. This is really important to know. History shows that nonviolent action is significantly more likely to overthrow authoritarian governments than violent action. And nonviolent action is not peaceful protest. It is made up of strategic actions that stop the functioning of parts of society that authoritarians require to survive. These include transportation, media, religion, education, and manufacturing, to name a few. Nonviolence is both creative and diverse. Scholar Gene Sharp has listed 120 different nonviolent actions. Consider Norway and Denmark. When the Nazis invaded, people refused to comply with their orders. The Danes followed the Danish 10 Commandments, which included doing a bad job for the Germans, working slowly for the Germans, destroy everything that may be of benefit to the Germans, delay all transport, protect anyone chased by the Germans. When the Germans declared a long and harsh curfew, Danes left work early, citing needs to run errands and work in their gardens before the curfew descended. And all of these small actions built trust between resisting people who then supported each other in general strikes that halted essential social systems. When these acts could not protect the Jewish Danes, fishermen ferried 8,000 people, most of the Jewish population, to safety in Sweden. In Norway, when the Nazi occupators asked for directions, the people would give them the wrong ones. Or when asked for information, pretended not to understand German, even though most did. When the Nazis ordered the teachers to teach Nazism or be sent to prison camps, 12,000 teachers refused and signed a declaration saying so. The Nazis arrested 1,000 teachers and sent them to prison camps, but the rest continued to strike. After 6 months, the Nazis capitulated. They needed teachers. They revoked the order, and the imprisoned teachers returned. The man in charge of implementing this policy exclaimed, "You teachers have destroyed everything for me." Consider Bulgaria. They saved their country's 50,000 Jews. This hardly seemed possible at first. After the Nazis invaded, their government passed the same draconian anti-Jewish laws as Germany. And many in Bulgaria supported these laws, but others resisted, writing letters and pressuring the government and king to resist German rule. Still, Jews were ostracized and then sent to work camps. When Nazi orders came to send the Jewish people to Auschwitz, the Bulgarian government signed off on the deportation orders. It was then that elected leaders, those who had formally supported the Nazis, protested, exerting pressure to rescind the order. The Orthodox Church joined them. The church invited thousands of Jews to take sanctuary in their buildings. The head of the church invited leading rabbis to live in his home. He threatened to lie across the tracks to prevent Jews from being transported by train. Ordinary citizens rose up in protest across the country. And finally, the Bulgarian parliament and the king, afraid of political repercussions, descended the deportation orders. The king told Hitler he needed the Jewish people for national work projects, and he left them in work camps. While their lives were inhuman, they still lived. Consider Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. The Soviet Union annexed these Baltic states in 1940 and ruled with a heavy hand. They made Russian the official language, banning all native languages. They attacked local religions. These churches, once community centers, began to shut down. People were forbidden to sing songs or practice other ceremonies foundational to their culture. In the late 1980s, when the Soviet Union began to shake apart, thousands of Estonians gathered at the massive Tallinn Song Festival. The stage itself could accommodate 15,000 singers, and the grounds over 100,000 people. Those gathered sang forbidden folk songs and patriotic songs in their own language. Inspired by this, all over, people began to sing. Cultural and civic organizations planned protests, and people sang. Churches invited rock bands, and people danced and sang in protest. Even more gathered at the Talon Song Festival in following years, singing the forbidden music. Other festivals followed. The Soviets struggled to end the protests. How can you stop people from singing? The singing built strength and courage among the people, leading to national strikes. Then, on August 23rd, 1989, 2 million people, 1/4 of the population of these three countries, held hands across all three countries, 419 miles. 7 months later, Lithuania officially declared independence, and the others followed. Consider Chile. Augusto Pinochet was Chile's brutal dictator from 1973 to 1990. He murdered thousands and displaced tens of thousands. Small affinity groups worked, according to Scott Nakawa, author of the Substack blog, The Anti-Authoritarian Playbook. Under the radar, leaning on trust, tight collaboration, and sheer resilience, they formed the backbone of nonviolent resistance, tackling oppression, one neighborhood, one strike, one song at a time. Their responses were diverse, but together they undermined the regime. Human rights works denounced documented killings, torture, and disappearance, and built international outrage. Women's groups provided food and support for victims' families. They wove stories of the oppression into traditional weavings and sent them to Venezuelan expats, stories they could not share otherwise because of censorship. Chile expats. Union organized strikes and slow workdowns. Students organized protests, flash mobs, and published underground newsletters challenging the regime. Artists sang, painted, and told stories, creating an identity for the movement. Churches offered sanctuary for activists, food and shelter for those in need, and used their moral voice against the government's abuse. Neighborhood groups built networks that could mobilize quickly and respond to larger national actions. All of these resistant stories began in love. Love for self, for family, for neighbors, and for strangers. They began by building trust one relationship at a time. These relationships wove together, making possible general strikes, intense legislative pressure, and 2 million people holding hands across 3 countries. Building relationships may feel so little right now as violence escalates and fear grows. But what is happening in Minneapolis, where 3,000 ICE and Border Patrol now outnumber the 2,100 local law enforcement. One of my colleagues, the Reverend Ashley Haran, lives just a couple of blocks from where Renee Good was murdered. She lives across from a school. That morning, ICE took the parent of a student. Through a rapid response system, neighbors arrived, including my colleague's housemate, and Good and her wife. Neighbors were protecting neighbors. Haran has asked Minnesotans to focus on care rather than marching on the street. People are Venmoing her money, which she gives directly to those in need and lists on her Facebook page. Most recently, she gave over $700 to a single mother for bills and for food. And people are showing up to do this. Another Minneapolis-based colleague reported that she planned to volunteer to pack food for the most impacted, but a friend called to tell her to stay home because too many people had showed up. Meanwhile, thousands are showing up on the streets. Government leaders are taking strong stands. Police are investigating Good's murder, even as the FBI has pushed them aside. In Portland, we too are showing up, caring for others. We walk children of vulnerable adults to school. We bring them food. We sit with families of victims as they cry. We surround schools. We show up when ICE arrives. We slow them down and sometimes stop them. We take videos. We share the atrocities with the world. And yesterday, thousands of Oregonians protested ICE and Border Patrol who are here in our communities. Our government officials are pushing back as well. In its quest for authoritarian control, the administration is escalating violence and fear. And the antidote to authoritarianism is its opposite: love, or in other words, empathy, care, kindness, and the desire for all living beings to flourish. Right now, we need to not be afraid. We need to grow our love. We need to feed the hungry, offer care to victims, and witness ICE atrocities. We also need to put ourselves into situations where we meet new people, have parties, sing, and stand with others in frog suits. We need to weave together networks of trust so we are prepared for the next wide-scale action that can shut things down. Renee, said her wife Becca, lived by an overarching belief. There is kindness in the world, and we need to do everything we can to find where it resides and nurture it where it needs to grow. It takes a lot of people to hold hands across 3 nations. It takes a lot of people to stop fascism, and it happens one act at a time. So my question for all of us is, how are we growing love? What is one small thing each of us can do to grow more love this week? How can we take small actions now to grow love and grow resistance? And who will you sing with while you do it? Let us sing together now. Fire of Commitment.
Our fulfillment, and our future can begin. The stories of our living bring us a song, brave and free, calling pilgrims still to witness to the life of liberty. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meets to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the dreams of youthful vision comes a new prophetic voice, which demands a deeper justice built by our courageous choice. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion calls to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin.
So go forth, my friends, and make love. Grow love every day. Now you may hold hands across the aisles. The front faces the back, and the back the front.